Welcome, and thank you for watching my first speech, a brief biography of Dr. Carl Sagan, if you wish to make an apple pie from scratch. I begin my speech with the retelling of a story his widow Anderin told the humorist in 2000. She said young Carl told her that at a young age he asked his mother, "What is a star?" Being a well-read woman, but not necessarily a well-learned woman, she didn't know the answer to Carl's question, but she knew where to find it. The Brooklyn Library. So she dressed in her matching outfit, the one requirement of her husband, who was a pattern maker in the woman's garment industry, took little Carl by the hand and took him down to the Brooklyn Library. Little Carl approached the reference desk with some trepidation. He had a stammer and a little bit of a facial tic, but he gathered himself together enough to ask the reference librarian if he could have a book on stars. The reference librarian went, got the book, and came back and presented him with the book on the stars in Hollywood. Little Carl, stymied, gathered himself again and asked for a book on the stars in the sky. Thus began his 55-year journey through the stars. Carl Edward Sagan was born November 9th, 1934, and died December 20th, 1996. According to the Encyclopedia of Astronomy and Astrophysics, he graduated high school at age 16, obtained his first bachelor's degree in 1954, and graduated in 1960 with dual doctorates in astronomy and astrophysics. He also had professorships at the University of California at Berkeley, an assistant professorship of astronomy at Harvard, and ultimately a professor of astronomy and space science at Cornell University. According to current biography published by H.W. Wilson, he was a prolific writer with over 600 professional publications and a Pulitzer Prize-winning book, The Dragons of Eden. You ask yourself, what does this have to do with me? Have you ever wanted to be an astronaut? Travel to Venus? Travel to the moon? Well, Carl Sagan was instrumental in the astronaut training program with NASA. He was also participating in the Mariner missions to Venus, discovering the planet completely uninhabitable with a surface temperature of 900 degrees. He was also quintessential in the Apollo missions from 1968 to 1972. Do you enjoy science fiction movies? He was also part of the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 missions. This is a little bit of a spoiler for you, those of you that haven't seen the original Star Trek. Voyager is actually the V'ger they're talking about in that movie. He was most commonly known as a popularizer of science, breaking down the walls between the scientific community and the public. He was often known for giving speeches at inner-city kindergartens, teacher pep rallies, and in 1980 co-produced with public broadcasting service, local station KCET in Los Angeles, the 13-series miniseries Cosmos. According to Tom Head in his conversations with Carl, he was very much a proponent of world peace. He very much hated chemical warfare, biological and nuclear weapons, and was very concerned with global warming, one of the first scientists to set forth that theory. Anybody seen the movie Independence Day? Those big radar arrays at the beginning with the guy practicing his golf putting at the beginning? That's the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence Institute, otherwise known as SETI, which Carl Sagan helped found. In 2006, SETI Institute opened the Carl Sagan Center for the Study of Life in the Universe. Carl said our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that anyone is there to help us. It's up to us. So, I have one question for you. Did you remember where you parked? Thank you for watching my episode and my speech. If you wish to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the universe. A brief biography of Dr. Carl Sagan. Thank you.